but that's been my most negative problem is dealing with my comedy because of what happens sometimes on stage, and I can't separate the good nights from the bad nights. I can't weigh out the good nights to the bad nights. The bad nights are what I dwell on. I can still see the faces of the people that weren't laughing or that were shaking their head in disgust or whatever was going on, or whatever voice I gave them. That power that I've given them is all tell. I mean, it really holds me down. And you know, objectively, I've had a lot of success. I mean, but it's not. It's hard with art. A success in art is very hard to put a finger on. It's almost intangible because you know, you look at, you know, most of my friends aren't other comedians. A lot of them are, you know, every day, and I tend to, you know, balance my age with what their age and what they've accomplished and what they have as far as, not that I'm very materialistic, but that's a good way to gauge, I always felt. House, car, mortgage, wife, children, of which, you know, none of that exists in my life. If I get down to the grassroots, I'm like, I've only had, what, one girlfriend in my entire life. I've never been married, never even went to a dance, never did any of those traditional things leading to marriage, like engaged or got a ring for anybody, you know. I was so wrapped up in my addictions that it was just the booze and the coke and the marijuana and the pills and me. I wasn't really happy family, you know. That's all I needed. So I think I always feel that I am fighting this losing battle, or that I'm just always chasing the bus and it never stops for me. I'm always chasing it, and everybody in the bus is just going, you never gonna get it. Look at you, you suck. That's why you're still a host in all these years in comedy. I'm still hosting. I see these guys that I was around when they first started comedy, and now I have to bring them on stage. I'm opening for them. And yet there are times on the positive side where a room will have, like last past weekend, they've been doing comedy in this particular firehouse up in Wilkes-Barre, and the guy came over to me and said, "Man, we've been doing comedy here since I can't remember when, but you are by far the best opening act we've ever seen." And I'm like, "Well, that's very nice, whatever, but I'm still the opening act." So but I'll forget that. And it's almost hard for me to accept that as a compliment, as a place to hang my hat. I'll forget that, and I'm on to the next show where all the insecurities will come back, and you're just a host. The other two guys are where they are because you suck. And that's why you're opening. Yeah, and that's why you're opening for them. Forget about, you know, all the nice things that were said and the rooms that you have quote headlined in, and then I think of that and I go, yeah, but those weren't real headlining shows. Those were like B and C rooms that I closed. So
What can you use to counterbalance that? What can you?
yeah, I mean, I can look at the fact that, you know, I when I, you know, I've been doing this for a good 10 years, and 10 years ago, to even contemplate comedy and being on stage with a set, with being able to stand in front of people for, 20 minutes, or, you know, no, back then it would have been being able to stand in front of somebody for 3 minutes and elicit laughter was just something that I would think about, but say to myself, that will never, ever, ever happen. And now that it is, I've come a long, long way. I mean, from Florida is when I used to think about it. Then I moved up here. I got myself a commercial agent. I don't know how I did it, but I got it. And I've been signed with her for 10 years. And I go on network national auditions, which guys would kill to be able to do something like that. I'm in the game. I have a comedy career where I'm almost making enough money to pay my rent. You know, where back then, you know, it was, if I could just somehow get the balls to go on stage once, I think I could do it. And now I'm on stage. I got a job almost every single weekend. And there's lots of guys out there that would like to be able to do that, a paid gig. So I've got a lot to be thankful for. And it's a slow race. And recently, I think I figured out why I have these great fears on stage. Because after a while, you do your material and you think to yourself, you go up there with the same tired old shit. They don't want to hear it. Not that they've heard it before, but you are tired of it. Now with this new technique of riffing, it's almost like, wow, if I could just go up there and riff, that's the way I wanted to perform in the very, very beginning. When people told me I should be on stage, it was just, I never scripted anything when we were hanging out and I was making people laugh. It was always in the moment shit that made them laugh. If I could do that, and now I'm starting to be able to do that on stage, now it seems to be so much more fun. However, it's you know, another whole chapter in bombing. But even on that end of the spectrum, yeah, I have to give myself a break because of the rooms that, you know, I felt that was bombing in were extremely difficult venues. You know, like the one I told you about in Newark, where there's that techno music, and everyone, even before you get on stage, you're talking like this. Am I next? I gotta go up next after this guy. Okay, yeah, I'll remember to yell into the mic. Boosh, 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 boosh. You know, and people are lining the back walls all like this. You know, motherfucker better be funny. You know, that's a tough situation. And I would have walked in, looked at it before, and just gone, all right, listen, I think my car's getting towed. I gotta get out of here, you know, and just leave. But I went through with it, and I gotta give myself a lot of credit for doing shows like that in tough situations and trying. Just being in this class, I gotta shake my hand and say, like, look, how many guys have been in this business for 10 years? Actually, that are still in this business. A lot of them drop out. You know, they go on to other things. And I say 10 years. I've been actually trying to get some kind of career in the entertainment field for close to 18 years. I started way back when I started doing plays, and I've got agents in New York or in Florida where you can't have a real job if you want this. You cannot do it. You can't have a 9 to 5 because you've got to be able to get up and go on auditions. You got to be able to get up and go on a moment's notice, and you got to do shows on the weekends. You got to work on your craft. So, you know, that's. But it's almost to the point where friends that were behind me and stuff are now. I feel in my head if my name comes up, they're like, "Oh yeah, fucking Hayward." I think he's still living with his brother, sleeping on that rubber bed somewhere in New Jersey. What a dreamer! What a piece of work! You know, I think it's that as negative thoughts. You know, good guy, but give it up. So, but as you said, Tim, on a positive note, what would do it for me is I have to make it like a gratitude list to look over every time before I go on stage of the things that I've accomplished, and think about all the good times that I've had on stage and all the things that I have going for me.
Okay, good.